Hey everyone, it's Megan Elizabeth with AboveRubyStudio.com. Thanks for joining me for today's Tuesday tutorial. Today's Tuesday tutorial, I'm going to talk a little bit about close to my heart goodies. I'm going to make a really cute card for something upcoming using the Artbooking Cricut cartridge, and I'm also going to be using the Laughing Lola Workshop on the Go collection. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these workshops on the go before, but they come with these really cute little guides, and mine got wrinkled because I got shoved in a box. But it gives you directions and diagrams for getting started to create the scrapbook layouts that you guys see and can be really inspired with using the papers in the collection. And it comes with some embellishments and a few other things that are pretty cool as well. So it all comes in one little kit, on the go kit, and it comes with a stamp set. And they're really great little kits, and I'm thinking, since you guys had mentioned on my Facebook page you'd like to see more videos with pre-designed kits, and since I'm no longer making them, there's several still available at craftycorner.com, but I'm not coming out with anything new right now. I would do some things new with some of these kits for you guys, so you could see some ideas on that, since I'm working with close to my heart right now. So I just thought it would be a fun little thing for you guys to see, and hopefully just be inspired by. We're going to use the Cricut, and I love, as you guys know, I've been spouting it for months. I love the Close to My Heart Cricut cartridges. Artiste is by far my favorite, and Artbooking is so cool. I love all the different functions and features with this cartridge and the different great things that you can do. And we're going to start with this. I'm actually going to take the cartridge that's in there out, put in Artbooking. Go ahead and turn that on. And we're going to use fit to length. I'm going to show you guys. Let's see. I think it's on page, let's see if I can remember what page number it is. I want to use one of these really cool overlay backgrounds. Overlay, there's all kinds of overlays and backgrounds. There's a chevron overlay. There's some really neat things in here. Alphabets and cogs, and okay, I'm going to just look at the overlay sheet here and find that houndstooth. It's on page 79. So we can go to it. I love this. Look at this really cool like burst of leaves or arrows or whatever it is, and that tree. It's just so neat. I really truly love this cartridge. And the font on here is awesome. For those of you who loved the Hello Kitty font cartridge that is really difficult to get your hands on. Now it's not the same, and I don't want to get in trouble for saying that it is, but for those of you who are so hardcore looking at it, this is actually a very similar type of font, that whimsical fun font. So you can even kind of take a look. Like here is the Hello Kitty M is right there. You guys can see that. Sorry, out of focus a little bit. It's right there. And then the M that's there, it is different. Like it's not the same font, but the look and feel is very similar for those who can't get their hands on that Hello Kitty anymore. Artbooking is a great alternative. Okay, so I'm going to page 79. I want to do this really cool houndstooth overlay. I'm going to do this skinny one that's right here. What I'm going to do is turn on my real dial size first of all. When I'm working with this cartridge, everything is kind of laid out and designed on the page to make a full like 12 by 12 layout, or the image that you see there. So it recommends cutting everything out at 11 inches. So it kind of fits everything to proportion and size for that. So you want to avoid that by turning on your real dial size with this particular cartridge for what I'm working on. Okay, so if we want it to fit the stamp and the number on the stamp, we'll go through some of those things in a minute here. But what I'm going to do is turn on my fit to length, and I'm going to do a standard A2 size card. So I want it to be 5.5 inches. I'm using this really cool, what's the name of it? It's the Laughing Lola. I don't know if it actually has a name for this. Yep, I don't think it does. So it's from the Laughing Lola collection. It's that number on there, and I just love this paper. So I'm going to place this on here on my cutting mat. Cool plaid. Load in my mat. Now I need to turn on my overlay creative function, which is right here. And then this is going to be the shift because it's on the right side, so I need to press shift, and then it is the second button in here. You can see it's the BFF, his little icon there. You'll see that come up. It should come up any second. And then we're going to double check that. It's going to make it a 2 3/4 inch length to match your 5.5, or a 2 3/4 inch height to match my 5.5 inch width, which is perfect. So I'm going to cut that out. Oop, actually, I'm going to pause that a second. I have my Cricut set. I have my Cricut set to Square One Masterpiece setting. So I'm going to reset that. And then I'm going to go ahead and press cut. And then I'm going to prep my black cardstock. I'm going to use some of the black cardstock that is included. And I'm going to cut this down to my A2 size card size. Set this to the side. I'm going to grab my score buddy here. Score that right down at 4 1/4, so that I have my 5.5 inch tall by 4 1/4 wide, and this is already done cutting out. So unload that, and you should see this really cool houndstooth pattern in this plaid, which is just awesome. Isn't that so cool? So that's our 5.5 inch height, and I didn't have to do any extra measuring or work to get that to happen for me. I love that. So I can set this aside. And then what I'm going to do is take some of the gray cardstock. I'm going to unload this. And on here, I'm going to cut out, I'm going to turn off my, well, I can leave my real dial size on so you guys can see why in a minute. I'm going to load this in, load my mat. I don't know why that didn't quite unload right. All right. Turn off my fit to length, and I want to cut out this image here. It's on page 47, and it says to cut it out at 3 inches. So we're going to go take a look at what that is exactly. And to cut it out at 3 inches, you're going to have to make sure real dial size is indeed on. Otherwise, you're going to want to cut it out at the recommended 11 inches in here. So we're going to go ahead and just leave real dial size on and go to 3 inches. At 3 inches, we're going to turn on icon, and we're going to actually just do the base. So we don't need shift or anything like that. We just need to press the 0, because you can see right there is the little overlay, what it is. It should come up, and that should work out perfectly. We're going to cut that out. Unload. And I'm going to remove the excess paper, but I want to kind of, well, I'll just remove it. We'll remove it all the way. And you know what I want to do? This is going to be a little different. I'm going to take that leftover piece of black. I'm actually going to cut it out again. I'm going to show you why in a second. We're going to cut out 2 of the same one. So I'm just going to hit repeat last on my Cricut. Same thing. Repeat last and cut. Unload. And then I'm going to use this interior circle of the black for something kind of cool. So now that I have that all done, I'm going to use the stamp set that actually comes in the bundle. It's called In the Moment Flair. And actually, I'm not sure if it comes in the bundle, but it goes with the Artbooking cartridge. I shouldn't say it comes in the bundle. Coordinates. So what I'm going to do is remove this little guy, which is the one that I said, it says on there, cut from page 47. Let's see if you can see it a little better. Cut from page 47 at 3 inches. That's what we're going to do. Okay? I'm going to grab a close to my heart melting block. I want to make sure that I'm close to lined up as possible when I do this, and that should work out perfectly. Just make sure it is the right size. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and use the Megan Elizabeth Rainy Days In ink edger on this, and it's going to be kind of a tone-on-tone look. It has a little bit of a silver metal-ish look to it. You'll see in a minute here what it kind of comes out like. It's a pretty cool look to use on top, just to give some detail on my die cut. Get a good amount of pressure on there. And it's gonna probably stick pretty good. So you're gonna just wanna peel that back. And you can really see that cool, just extra little bit of detail. Sorry, that light looks a little off, washing it out. You can see that? Looks pretty cool. And this is gonna go on the front here. We're gonna make this all layered up all pretty. Okay, so now on the circle, the interior part, there is this great little sentiment stamp. It says, live in the moment and let the future unfold on its own. And I just think it's an awesome little stamp that what we're gonna do once again is use the Rainy Days In pad on. And we're actually going to heat emboss this. We're gonna heat emboss it with a little bit of silver pearl. This is from Sparkle and Sprinkle. And this is their pearl. It's kind of a silverish embossing powder. And make that really pop out on the black background. Alright, and we're just going to sprinkle the embossing powder right on there. And then quickly just heat set that. Let's see, what can I hold this on? This way. Okay, and you can just see here how that just looks awesome right on there, that glimmer and shine and everything. It really pops out. So I'm going to start assembling this all together. I'm going to use my Glue Glider Pro, and even with the background, I'm just going to use little bits, and I'm not worried about what comes through. I can just kind of move around with my finger or my thumb and get pretty good precision control even on this kind of background. So if there's any places where the adhesive is coming through, just kind of rub your finger over it and it'll move it out of its way. Just kind of fold it over. Okay? And then we're going to line this up. There's just a little right there. At the top of the card here. I'm going to adhere my little medallion down with my glue glider. And do this right up here, kind of in the center. And then I'm going to take some of the You Cut It foam. A quick little chunk of that ought to do it. And I'm going to pop that up in the center. Let that kind of stand out there. Alright, and then I want to take some, these are Lush Sparklites. They're a really neat purple. I think I'm just going to take 3 of them. And I'm going to go in a little pattern here right along the bottom. And I'm actually going to use my glue glider to adhere these down as well. So just from the tip of the glue glider, I'm going to press it down on there and then lift up. And there's just the right amount of adhesive on there to be able to press this down, because it releases in that precision, almost surgically precision adhesive cutting technology here with Glue Arts. Love it. You're not getting a big long strip. It's actually cut into these tiny, tiny little strips that allow you to release and get just the right amount on even your tiniest little projects and have really good solid hold. All right, so they're gonna go down on there. Now the last thing I'm gonna do, I know I have it, I gotta find it, is my, here it is. It's my jelly roll, and it's called, let's see, it's the Stardust. I feel like it has another name, but it's the Stardust Jelly Roll pen, and it comes out in this really awesome silver. And they're just going to be simple little dash lines down the side. I think that are just going to set this all apart and set it off. Now, if you wanted to really add some more texture or dimension or anything to this, you could emboss the entire back of the card base. You can emboss that whole sheet in your ebosser or your Cuttlebug or whatever you may have laying around to work with, but it really is a pretty simplistic card that you can whip up, you know, relatively quickly. It's just the time of cutting, a little bit of heat setting, and stamp it on there, and it's a pretty quick, simple, easy card to create and make in bulk. You just cut out a whole bunch of the shapes on one sheet and you're pretty good to go. And it's a really great way to use fit to length to meet your project needs, you know, in an easy way that there's not a lot of extra cutting or measuring or figuring things out. Use that fit to length when you know the length of your card is 5.5 inches. So I hope this tutorial helps you. If you need any help at all with the Close to My Heart process, you can go ahead and check out AboveRubyStudio.com. I can help you out, answer any questions you may have. There is a really special giveaway period going on right now over at Above Ruby Studio, along with Close to My Heart as an independent giveaway thing that you might enjoy. So go ahead and check that out at AboveRubyStudio.com. Have a great day. That's going on all month of October 2013, and I hope you guys enjoy the moments, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.